That's the Chronic from Mexico.
Damn NAFTA.
When fleshing out Hank's background and storyline, Greg Daniels had writers read The Death of Common Sense, How Law is Suffocating America, to get inside the propane salesman's mind. Written by Philip K. Howard, the book was published in 1995 and was essentially a libertarian treatise on society that berated government regulation and bureaucracy and called for tort reform. It fit perfectly for somebody like Hank, who would have never read such a book, but would be damned if you tried to get him to pay state income taxes or expand welfare. Hank Hill became disenchanted with the Republican presidential candidate because of his weak handshake.
Hey, there's Havlet County's newest hero.
I was just in the right place at the right time, like any hero.
Yeah, and I'm the boy's dad.
I need your vote, partner.
Well, you got it, Governor Bush.
What's wrong, Hank?
Oh my God. His handshake. It's limp.
When his son Bobby wants to do non-masculine coded things or things not patriotic enough, Hank is aghast, though he sometimes comes around to support Bobby.
I need a window seat because this flower is wilting.
Oh, Lord. All right, everyone in the car. Now, go, 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 go.
I do believe I'll give room service a jangle and have them send up some etouffee. No!
Hank also balks at sexual liberation and lewd behavior.
I like it when you talk dirty.
Therefore, I'm now going to drive over there, baby. Oh, I just had phone sex. Oh.
Hank and Peggy's relationship was examined in the stellar 1997 episode, Joust Like a Woman. Excellent guest star choice Alan Rickman played the king of a Renaissance fair, whom Hank wants to entice into a propane business deal. Peggy's know-it-all attitude and egalitarian ways piss off the king, who seeks to tame the shrew by making her serve as a wench.
Pondering.
No, see, you're a woman. Other than the yard-long margaritas, we're pretty strict about historical accuracy. You're pretty much looking at cleaning wench, stable wench, or butter churning wench.
She's a witch!
Well, I guess if they burn you at the stake, they'll be using my propane. You'll find it burns witches cleanly and evenly and at a fraction of the cost of natural gas.
While Hank initially goes along with this to seal the deal, eventually King Philip goes too far, angering Hank into challenging him to a fight. In a typical Peggy-Hank fashion, Hank loses in a joust with the king, but then Peggy comes to the rescue.
Help me to my feet, you gaggle of magpies! What hand you me?
It's a lawsuit, honey.
Department of Labor, OSHA, Texas Workforce Commission.
In addition to its interesting gender dynamics, the show's depiction of the white lower class fit into the larger 90s. Hank, while he sips beer in the alley and drives a pickup, hates being called redneck, and has called other characters the word, like Luann's eventual husband Lucky, who lives off of a lawsuit settlement. Rather than relying on racist tropes about black people abusing welfare, being lazy, or being criminals, the most nefarious, greedy, and lazy characters in King of the Hill are white.
Mr. Harrington, you seem to have a few gaps here in your work history.
Well, 33 to 45, FDR was in the White House, so I was on the welfare, you know.
Nancy was cuckolding her husband and telling people who asked about her obviously mixed-race child that Dale's grandmother had Jamaican ancestry that had me screaming. The news of her affair is shocking to Peggy, who was the last one in the neighborhood to find out.
Well, well, well. Jahan Redcorn.
Oh, Peggy. Nancy's headache's very severe this morning. Must be the pollen.
Well, well, well.
Well.
Jahan Redcorn.
Peggy Hill.
While the Hills represented lower to middle class Texans, their niece, Luann, embodied and depicted the white trash, rednecks, and trailer trash. And the character was expertly voiced by Brittany Murphy, who was fresh from her breakout role in Clueless. Luann's mother, Leanne, was married to Peggy's fraternal brother, and she was abusive. She went to jail for stabbing him with a fork, which is why Luann lives with the Hills. When Leanne is released from prison, she's not a good mom at all.
Well, come on, Stan, show me some love!
Help! Get this skank off me!
Pork! Pimply little!
Excuse me, ma'am, but that was my fork.
One of my favorite Luann episodes is when she and Peggy get absorbed into a cult on a college campus, believing it to be a sorority.
The ranch is quiet and secluded so you can concentrate on making our famous jams and jellies. They're so delicious, especially when smeared on a piping hot English muffin. The ranch is also where you'll get to meet Jane.
How's it going, ladies? Have a large meat lovers pizza for Luann?
You have an independent streak that makes it very difficult for us to love you.
When Hank naively buys crack, thinking it's fishing bait, he buys it from a white man.
I've been thinking about trying something new.
What you need?
Well, I've always been a worm man, but Ray was telling me about your bait and...
Bait. You call it bait. I like that. What are you looking to spend?
Well, I got 20.
20 get you all the bait you need, Jack. Rock on.
Huh. Freshness jars. Sure don't get that at Megalomart.
And what about Dale, the conspiracy theorist who never voted? He grew up in the shadow of Watergate and the Pentagon Papers, and his conspiratorial tendencies represent the disillusioned boomers whose mistrusts swang conservative. It makes perfect sense that Dale Gribble, or Rusty Shackleford as he likes to be called, the one with cameras in his home and a mixed-race child, is in complete denial about his wife's infidelity. And it also makes sense that he's deeply mistrustful of government, so he doesn't vote or pay taxes, but he does accept welfare on Rusty Shackleford's behalf. And in a 2005 episode, when he rereads the Warren Report and comes to agree that there was no conspiracy to kill JFK, he flips from conspiracy theorist to super American patriot, humorously revealing two sides of a very dystopian coin. Hank's Laotian neighbors, the Sufanusonphones, were a major part of the series.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
I live in California last 20 years, but first come from Laos.
Huh?
Laos. We Laotian.
The ocean? What ocean?
We are Laotian. From Laos, stupid. It's a landlocked country in Southeast Asia. It's between Vietnam and Thailand, okay? Population 4.7 million.
So are you Chinese or Japanese?
Oh.
Laotians arrived in America in large numbers after the Vietnam War, along with Vietnamese refugees, fleeing the communist dictatorship that emerged in 1975. During the Vietnam War, the U.S. had covertly conducted operations against the Laotian communists, who are North Vietnamese allies. The U.S. dropped hundreds of millions of cluster bombs on Laos, 30% of which failed to explode on impact and would cause injuries and deaths in the decades after the secret war was over. Min, the daughter of a general, and Khan, son of peasants, apparently fled Laos during this time and, when building their American lives, deeply abided by the capitalist American dream. In the show, they constantly compare themselves to another Laotian family, the extremely wealthy Wasana-songs, who are members of the exclusive Nine Rivers Country Club. Min's competitive nature and extreme expectations of Khan Jr. are emblematic of the tiger mom stereotype about Asian women. But Khan and Min also had the healthiest sexual relationship and marriage on Rainy Street. And a really good late series episode is when they give up their buppy lifestyles after the loss of affirmative action and become rednecks. Connie genuinely loves school regardless of what her parents tell her to like, and she has a cousin named Tid Powell who was in a gang, made meth, and conned Bobby Hill. That's like one of my favorite episodes. Two-time governor of North Carolina Mike Easley, who served from 2001 to 2009, loved the show so much that, quote, he instructs his pollster to separate the state's voters into those who watch King of the Hill material and those who don't, so he can find out whether his arguments on social and economic issues are making sense to the sitcom's fans.